Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time with my expert, Matt, the lumberjack landlord. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. I'm really excited for this segment, and I'll apologize for in advance for any extreme. You might learn some new words.
Yeah, some of these might
So I
might spin
apologize
you
in
up.
advance.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do here, folks,
Yeah.
is I have pulled
Like,
up my YouTube channel, and we are going to go through various comments because I think some of them warrant responses, perhaps from more than one individual. So, you ready for the first one? All right, here we go. When people bought at the peak in '07, having the same mentality like these three guys, you, me, and Dion, it just keeps going up, and it got wrecked. It's called a blow off top. We are in right now, and the market is just turning over. Why the heck would anybody buy right now? I will wait.
that person probably doesn't understand that after the quote unquote crash, that with an 800 credit score and a ton of cash, you still couldn't get a deal
Exactly.
unless you were buying a deal all cash. So I look forward to your strategy and you staying out of my way while I buy more property. And it's never a bad time to buy a great deal. Just isn't. I've sold 3 this year.
Mhm.
I've bought 6. So
Yeah.
it's about the deal. It's really about the deal. And when there's uncertainty in the market, there's pressure on pricing, but I don't see these rates sticking around forever. I wouldn't be shocked if they start tapering before the end of the year. That's going to hurt
They
because
will.
rates are going to go up and they're going to go up quick.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that good businessmen, right? So bad businessmen that get lucky, they get in because it's the perfect time, perfect opportunity. And then when things shift, they can't pivot. Then
Mhm.
they go bankrupt and they're out,
Yep.
right? And good businessmen understand the game and understand that you buy in all markets. You only have to make sure that you're changing your criteria, maybe even changing your assets like you did,
Mhm.
and like I've done, and changing your asset that you're looking at to then still the numbers working are the numbers working. Just don't do a skinny, crappy deal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a couple of things about this. First and foremost, you need to go watch my 50-year video on housing. I've done 50 years of data. And, in 2021, the housing is getting stretched a little bit, but it's still cheaper than 45 out of 50 years. So do the math, right? Do the math. It's always a good time to get a great deal. Only get 30-year fixed rate debt. Inflation and rents have just started. But again, to your point, dude, the more and more people that believe this person, great. Stay out of my way. No competition. And you will be like all the people back in 2010 who couldn't get a deal because they didn't have cash or they were too scared, or they think housing is actually going to zero. So yeah, I agree with you. That's just crazy talk. So all right.
I think there's the other lunacy too, that I'll just stay renting. Are you nuts? You think you have no control? You think you have control when you're renting?
Yeah, good luck.
I'm your landlord and I'm watching the market. I just raised your rent 10% because I can.
Yeah.
And because I have to cover my costs.
Yeah.
Like,
Property taxes are up, all that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
water, sewer, everything.
All right. This one, love to get your thoughts on. Says trash. You are naive. You don't take into account the economy is being destroyed on purpose by those who are responsible for creating wealth.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Listen, there's certainly, I will be the first one to say there's certainly, the system, largely speaking, certainly has some rigging to it for sure. But I love the guys like me, 9th grade dropout, now multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Mike, you weren't supposed to be much of anything either, my friend.
No.
Neither was Anna Kelly. Neither was Greg Dickerson.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about that, right? Married at 19. Anna was raised in Section 8 housing. Greg quit a job as a restaurant to go start his own business when he had no skills or experience with kids at home. I mean, we're all supposed to be failures.
We are. And that's why I love this channel more than any other channel out there is every single person, I don't know everyone's history, but I know enough of it to know that every single person was a self-starter. No one came from stacks of cash, and everybody made their own way. And you know what? And they weren't 24 going, I can't believe I haven't made it yet after 4 years.
Yeah.
Dude, I started at 14. If you think about it, 14 was when I started my journey, 14. And now I'm 44. That's 30 years. Talk about playing the long game.
Exactly.
Like,
this is not instant cup of noodle.
No, honestly, like this is life's souffle.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm getting more and more comments that are like this, right? That there's some Illuminati out there, 100, 1,000, whatever it is, people kind of doing what they're doing. And, all I got to say is I only can control my family and my situation. I don't trust anybody else. I don't count on anybody else. If there is some Uber organization out there, I'm only going to do what I can do. I'm not going to wait for some other organization to put food on my table. For me, it's that kind of idea gives people excuses to do nothing, which is unfortunate. Doing nothing is an option for too many people because they point at things like this. And it's an excuse, right? Because again, if you believe this and you're a 9th grade dropout or married at 19, and this is what you believe, why would you work hard? It's like, I'll just, I'll get enough food and, I'll rent a 1-bedroom and I'll be good. You don't strive for anything. I don't know. It's just,
well, I mean, I think, but don't they accomplish their, let's just say they exist.
Sure.
Don't they accomplish their mission if you're sitting on your ass doing nothing, not getting smarter, not getting more empowered, not having more financial freedom, not being able to do more of what you want to do or be able to do? Like you are literally
giving them,
fulfilling their prophecy and giving them what they're asking for. If they exist, you're giving them what they asked for.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah. Here's another comment I thought you would like as a 9th grade dropout. This could have been you. Working a regular job today is barely enough for gas and food. That's the end of the comment. Did you hear it?
Say it again. You cut out. Say it again.
Working a regular job today is barely enough for gas and food.
Where are you eating?
Yeah. Well, I think it's the dollar menu.
Crap of, there's, yeah. Well, I lived there.
Yeah.
And that was my treat, Mike. Like we spent a lot of time during the week eating things that were inexpensive, so, listen, you can make 1,000 excuses of why not to do something and just keep on making that excuse. Like, honestly, like, don't do the work. Like, don't do the work. Don't, wait for your next stimmy check, wait for your next paycheck. I was raised by a single mom. Like, I don't want to hear it. We struggled. I mean, I remember a treat for us was we had a penny jar in the basement, and we used to, every once in a while when we'd saved up enough pennies, we could get like a Domino's pizza only when it was a deal and it was a special carryout deal. We could get a Domino's pizza. Like that was our treat. And that was only after we'd saved up enough change over like a course of time. So yeah, like, I'm sorry. The excuses just don't fly with me because I've lived it. I've lived dirt poor broke. I've been dirt poor broke as an adult. I've almost been bankrupt with, $17,000 a month of bills and $6,000 a month of income between my job and rental. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, at the end of the day, people will justify whatever attitude or behavior or lack of go-gettedness, not even a word, but they'll always just make that sacrifice. It's your decision. Choose more wisely with your time. Choose more wisely with your time.
Yeah. First and foremost, who said you had to work a regular job, right? When did minimum wage job become the goal? I mean, where's the, work hard, be better, look for other opportunities. I mean, when did a minimum wage job become the goal? I mean, I don't know. Crazy.
I have an idea. Why don't you walk to your boss and tell them, I want to be your best employee every single opportunity that you see that I can pick up a shift, please offer it to me first before anybody else, please. Do that for 3 months and let me know what your life looks like after 3 months. Are you going to be tired? Yep. Are you going to have a lot more money? Yep. Will your boss think completely differently of you? 1000%. And you will get that next opportunity.
Yeah. So this will be the last one I will read. It is, I talked to a couple of directors of the Section 8 housing in 2 local counties, and both disagree with the program getting larger, as they already have 2 to 3 year waiting list and no properties available from local landlords.
So you don't know how things work. The government will absolutely give more funding to those housing authorities. There will be more funding made available for them because they will make the case that they have a 3-year waiting list and that they don't have enough properties. And so 2 things will happen. 1 is the amount that they're going to pay is going to go up. And 2 is the number of vouchers that they have will also go up. Both of those never go down. They always go up. The only question is how quickly will they go up? It's the only question.
Yeah. When I see stuff like this, it's, you don't really know how the system works. And again, I've had Section 8 properties for more than 20 years now. What is going to happen? So again, if you're looking at a 2 or 3 year waiting list, you're actually looking at the wrong part of the equation.
Agreed.
What you're going to need to look at is the Section 8 bucket of money. Let's just say it doubles. It doubles. That doesn't mean the list gets twice as long. That means the average rent will go up. And I guess what happens when you raise rents on Section 8 properties? Like, let's say a 1-bedroom used to go.
You have more landlords willing to put their properties available.
Because again, it becomes a game, right? And here's the deal, folks. Let's just say in a market, a 1-bedroom rents for $1,000 and a cash market is $1,200. In today's market, guess who gets the rent? $1,200. Mm-hmm. Right? Unless you have a dumpy 1-bedroom or it's next to railroad tracks or it has certain criteria that a cash buyer won't want, right? There are properties like that. But now you take that $1,000 Section 8 payment and you jump it to $1,500. Guess what happens? Mm-hmm. Section 8 suddenly looks appealing. And oh, by the way, this cash tenant's going to be pulled up probably to $1,350 or $1,400, because you're right. There are some landlords that absolutely refuse to rent to Section 8. So it may not be equal, but yeah, the Section 8 program is about to jump. It is about to be, I'm not calling for 100%. I'm using that as an example.
Sure.
But the money is about to go up, which means higher rents, more landlords will accept. And, maybe it'll go from a 3-year waiting list to a 1.5 years. That's what's going to be happening, I think, very soon.
Totally agree. They're going to get more funding. Rents are going to go up, and thus more landlords will put units out there.
Yeah.
It's all about what that mix is between market and, voucher.
Cash and market. Yeah.
Yep.
Right now, because what have we seen, right? We did an interview with you, me, and Dion last week where cash paying tenants are paying 30% jumps. Section 8 has a ceiling. They're stuck. That's right. They do not move quick. And right now they're being priced out of the market more and more and more.
Yep. What's really interesting is look at your housing authority and the towns that they cover. They usually don't only cover one town. They usually cover a county. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, you should be making that part of your homework, looking for housing in areas that's much less expensive, where your return on capital is far greater, because you can rent that unit out at their price in a different market that's less expensive.
Yeah. Great advice. Great advice. Well, thank you for doing this. I love going over these comments. We'll probably do this once a week or once every other week. Yeah. And again, folks, if you're leaving a comment on my channel and it's full of curse words and calling people this and that, your comment will be deleted. I don't need to have hate-filled speech on my section. So, any thoughts on comments maybe on your channel that you've had fun with?
If you're gonna bring the heat with me, I'm gonna bring it right back. And so I'm kind of like the only time I'll ever be compared to Mel Gibson is him in Braveheart, where they're like, "You want to go pick a fight?" So I'll have that conversation. The funny thing is you can have it respectfully. I do honestly want to understand where people are coming from, and then the part that always gets them to shut up is I ask them where they're invested, and it's always crickets after that.
Yeah. How many houses you own?
Just tell me where you're invested, superstar. Yeah. Just tell me where you're invested. I'd love to know, because again, I'm not talking my book. If I were talking my book, I'd be doing exactly what the mainstream media is, which is don't buy. It's a scary time. You have no idea what's going to happen, and leave it all for me. That's what I would do.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate this. I look forward to episode number 3. Thanks, bud.